Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to do a comparison video. We're going to compare the Aivasee 1963 military watch to the ADDIESDIVE BDS JD1508. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Cadison C8212 with the ST1900 movement. And Greg was wearing my Aivasee 1818. Grogu said that Admiral Akbar gave him a book called To Serve Man. I said, wait a minute, isn't that a cookbook? He said, heck no, man is way too stringy for good eating. It's a book on tennis lessons. Alright, let's take a look at the two watches. As you can see, the Aivasee comes in just this plain Jane box. Nothing special at all about it. And the ADDIESDIVE BDS comes in this nice plastic case. Plus this comes with nothing, and this comes with the unsigned warranty card and the instructions and a little hang tag. So but anyway, here are the two watches. So you want a watch that looks like a Citizen Aviation AW136, but you don't want to spend the $300 on the Citizen because you blew your watch budget on a titanium octopus Kraken. So you go to AliExpress and look for some more affordable options. I had already reviewed the ADDIESDIVE BDS JD1508, so I thought it would be a good idea to review this cheaper alternative, and then I could do a comparison video. Well, now that I've seen and worn it, and since I am so far behind in reviews, I figured I'd go straight to the comparison. Keep in mind that this is a $30 watch versus a $15 watch, and I'll tell you right now that the $30 watch is indeed better, but let's see the differences. These watches are similarly sized, but with a little bit different. The one on the right is actually a hair bigger at 44.6 millimeters, where the one on the left is 43.8. The lug to lug's almost identical, and this one's also a little thinner than this one at 10.3 if you don't count the NATO on this one, because this one's 11. They both have a 22 lug width. And this one weighs 43 grams on the supplied strap, and this one weighs 70 grams on the supplied NATO strap. Well, there's a lot more weight to this NATO than this, so I decided to just weigh the watch heads. The one on the left is 42 grams without the strap, and the one on the right is 36 grams without the strap. So there's quite a bit of difference in the weight of the watch heads. If you look at the dials of both of them, they're very similar in style. But the one on the left, the more expensive one, is just a little bit cleaner looking and just a little bit nicer looking. You can really tell the difference. And then also look at the hands. The hands on the one on the left have, this one has like an arrow tip, plus the hour hands different colored, where these are a little bit more plain. Also, the logo on the one on the right looks like it's in a Roman numeral 11 in new. I don't really know what that means. And the one on the left, even though it's ADDIESDIVE, it says BDS, which I'm assuming is maybe a subsidiary of ADDIESDIVE, or either that or maybe they just bought out the company. Then also, if you look at the second hand, it looks like the second hand mostly hits the marks on the one on the left. The one on the right, the cheaper one, is missing the marks a lot more than the one on the left is. Of course, the one on the left has a shorter second hand, so it's harder to tell that it's missing the marks. The crowns are very different on the two watches. The BDS has a very large, easy to use crown, and the one on the Aivasee has a very small crown. Plus, the crown in action is night and day too. This one is a smooth crown action that's not all loose. And when you go to set it, you don't get that annoying minute hand jump. This one, on the other hand, the crown action is loosey-goosey. They both have flat glass crystals. Nothing special about either one of them. And then the cases. As you can see, the one on the left, the bezel and the case are kind of separate, while the one on the right, it looks like it's all one piece. But neither one is steel, they're both alloy. They both have press-on case backs. The BDS though has 50 meters water resistance, where the Aivasee only has 30. Also, the BDS has a slot for a pry tool, and I looked and looked and looked, and I could not find a slot for a pry tool. So you're going to have a fun time getting this one off without scratching it up. And they both say stainless steel back, which is a tell that the case is not. Neither one says what the movement is. I would assume the BDS has a better movement just because the crown action is so much better. They're all just both basic quartz movements. They both have nylon straps, but the BDS has a double pass NATO. And this one's a two-piece. Also, if you just feel the canvas itself, the BDS has a much nicer strap. This one feels really cheap. Plus, if you look at where the notches are on the back, it looks really frayed. And these keepers look really flimsy. And the buckle's pretty flimsy. This is just a much nicer strap. Here's the Aivasee on my 7.5-inch wrist. And it looks like I have 3 notches left, so you should be able to wear this on a fairly big wrist. And here's the BDS on my 7.5-inch wrist. And it looks like I have 4 notches left, so you'll be able to wear this on an even bigger wrist. Here in the lume room, both watches only have lumed hands. One would assume that the better watch would have better lume, so let's find out. As we speed up the time, we see that both watches are about neck and neck. Neither has great lume, but I wouldn't call it garbage lume either. The BDS wins in the end, but just barely. Well, there you have it. 2 watches that look very similar, but the one on the left is $30, the one on the right is $15. And honestly, I think you're better off spending the $30 for the one on the left. It's just so much nicer. I would say it's twice as nice as the one on the right. And this strap is really bad. So I don't know if I'd recommend this one on the right at all, but I would recommend the one on the left. Well, thank you for watching my comparison video, and I'll be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.